Hello there, my friends. This is episode 61 of Good Art, Bad Art, a series where I discuss all sorts of music, from pop music to classical music, rock music, anything goes. And I try to just figure out which types of music or which songs, which compositions are good or bad. Yeah, in my opinion. And you can let me know what you think. As you may already tell, I filmed these videos in one take over 8 minutes, no editing, not really any script, just a few little notes to get me thinking. And we'll see what comes out, yeah? So who knows what I will say? I do not know. Please send in some suggestions for what else I should discuss on my next few episodes. You can leave a comment, or even better, you could send me a video, yeah, of you telling me what you want me to discuss. Check out the video description for details of how you can send me your video. Anyway, today we're talking about Road Tripping by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is the last track from their 1999 album, Californication. Now, this is the album that got me into music. It did. I was 11 years old when it came out, and I'd been playing piano since I was 6. So I've been playing piano for 5 years. I enjoyed it. But I can remember not being massively into music, just it was something I did. I played piano. I enjoyed it, but that was that. Then age 11, I got a guitar and I bought the album Californication from a CD shop in Norwich, listened to it with my friend Adam, and I was blown away. My 11-year-old brain absolutely loved it. I immediately tried to learn it on guitar, and from that moment forth, I was really interested in music in a massive way. Loved playing both piano and guitar and listening to all sorts of stuff, but it was mainly rock music in my teenage years. Anyway, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're obviously known for kind of, high energy, being a bit of kind of adolescent vibe, right? Funky, naughty, big energy, right? This is totally an outlier track for them. There's nothing like that at all, as you will know if you know the song. It's entirely acoustic, and it's one of the very few songs of theirs which features no drums whatsoever. Yeah, Chad Smith is not on this track. It's just one acoustic guitar, John Frusciante, acoustic bass, Flea, lead vocal, Anthony Kiedis, a single backing vocal line, beautifully done by John Frusciante, and then this kind of string sound. You might think, oh, is that actually string instruments playing? No, it's the Chamberlin organ played by Patrick Warren on a string sound. That's it. And yeah, it's a lovely track. I think it's really a wonderful composition, and I think it is an example of great art. It's totally going against their usual style. What a way to end Californication, this album where John Frusciante has come back to the band, right? He left after Blood Sugar Sex Magik 1991. At the height of their fame, they'd gone global, they'd gone massive. John left. He spent several years really in the depths of a staggering heroin addiction. Got very close to death, actually. They got Dave Navarro in for One Hot Minute, 1995. Didn't do so well. I still think that's a great album. Much darker, of course, than their other stuff, but a great album. But then they got John Frusciante back, Californication. And yes, the album ends on this quiet note. The song describes a road trip that Anthony Kiedis, Flea, and John Frusciante took along the Pacific Coast Highway. They went surfing at Big Sur. Chad Smith didn't come with them. Apparently, he's not really into surfing. So it's about the three of them taking this road trip, essentially. And this is not a song they perform live very often at all. Apparently, it's only been performed live 4 times, and not at all since 2004. So there we go. The song. So let's talk a bit about the music. It's in the key of E minor. Yeah. The intro and the verse features just E minor chord and then C and B. Yeah. Chords 1, 6, and 5 if we're in the key of E minor. And I find it quite a haunting vocal melody, especially with what John Frusciante does with the vocal harmony. His additions of vocal harmony really developed during Californication, and then they got to an even greater extent on By the Way. And sometimes he layers up many levels of vocal harmony, but here I love that it's just one line. It's just him a single track of backing vocals. Sometimes he's singing below Anthony Kiedis's main melodic line, sometimes above, occasionally in unison. And it's just exquisite. And he's exploring all the ways he can harmonize with the lead vocal line. And it's just done in such a wonderful, well-judged way. And the vocal sound, they blend, their voices blend beautifully well. And the addition of this Chamberlin organ with the string sound, it's really well done. What Patrick Warren, his arrangement, I assume it's his arrangement, it really adds a lot, especially in the instrumental break, where we get a bunch of different chords coming in. Really wonderful work on the Chamberlin organ there. And then it ends that section. I love how that section ends with this big diminished seventh chord, chord 7 in our key of E minor, D sharp diminished seventh. Just moving up and down the guitar, diminished seventh. We know we're going to transition back, probably, aren't we, to E minor? Yes, we're back into the verse again. Yes, and it's, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're one of these bands. Sometimes people say, they kind of say, oh yeah, they're a bit crap, aren't they? Like, they're not really good music. Like, people even put them in the same category, God forbid, as a band like Coldplay. I've heard people say, oh yeah, Coldplay, Chili Peppers, that's crap music. Which breaks my heart, really, because Chili Peppers meant a lot to me as a teenager, and they still do. And yes, I understand, they can be a bit silly, the lyrics can be a bit throwaway, and Anthony Kiedis, he's not the world's best singer. But nevertheless, I think they've done a ton of great songs. They really have. And Flea is an incredible bassist, John Frusciante, an incredible guitarist, Chad Smith, again, a simply world-class drummer. And no, they're a great band. They are. Recently, I've got to admit, I haven't loved their last few albums, but then again, I haven't listened to them, over and over again, like I have many of their earlier albums. What do you think? What do you think of the Chili Peppers these days compared to how they used to be? Do you have a favorite album, favorite song? Let me know. But for my money, Road Tripping, a beautiful, quite haunting song, which I must have heard it hundreds of times, really. I love to play it on guitar. I love to teach it to my students because I also teach guitar. And I love how just occasionally we're in E minor, occasionally we hear a G major chord, just at the end of the refrain each time, the relative major. It's a lovely little beacon of hope. Maybe the hope that John's return would be a really good thing for the band, and they're really glad that John's back. There we go. My score, 86 out of 100. Road Tripping, great track. See you next time.